Setting up your webinar for Facebook Live. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I think we're live.
It says live on my end.
We're in business. All right, cool.
Woohoo!
All right, guys, welcome. We put this post, Darin and I, hopefully you caught our Facebook Live last week. We talked a little bit about the gel, the product, some of the different things that we're doing, the business briefly. The purpose of tonight, so many of you have seen the videos, the lives that I've done, that Darin's done, the posts that we've made about the gel. So to me, and Darin and I discussed this, we said, well, why don't we just show them real world examples, real people using the gel, what it's doing for them. And, you know, what a better way to give a testimony than a live testimony. And thanks to technology, and now we're piping this through Zoom onto Facebook Live, we get to share quite a few amazing stories. And we're going to be quick tonight, guys. We believe in brevity and just getting right to the point. So Darin, why don't we start with you, man? Tell us how old you are, how long you've been on the gel, what did you experience, let's say, the first week, and since you've been on it.
Cool. Before I start with that, Brian, I'd like to say that I totally understand where people are coming from about this sounds too good to be true and being skeptical. I totally get it. Two of my testimonials on this live tonight were unsolicited, that came to me through a competitor that shot a video that was saying I was scamming people and that I looked like a used car salesman. And they came unsolicited from his tribe. They're on here tonight. They're a couple. They're going to talk. And I get it. And Brian, to be honest with you, I've heard people say, Brian Mary, he looks like he walked off a movie set. He's too slick. Two used car salesmen. That's what they're saying. And I get it. But what I told Mark Lobliner, that came at me hard about being a scumbag and that I was selling snake oil that was a placebo effect, is I said, we're grown men. We're grown-ass men raising a family. You know, Brian beat cancer before the gel. We would not be wasting our time at this point of our career scamming people. I just want to say that it's hard to believe that proof's in the pudding. And testimonials come across better when they're unsolicited. And two of mine tonight are unsolicited. And I apologize if I come off strong and excited, but it's because I'm excited. And as a 20-year professional, full-time healthy lifestyle coach and personal trainer, Brian, searching for the fountain of youth, staying away from drugs and hormones. I've never found anything remotely close to this, with going through at least 40 holistic, natural, homeopathic techniques before I succumbed to a full hip replacement surgery from an injury I had in the 80s in my football career. And I finally succumbed to the surgery, but after 40 holistic, natural, homeopathic procedures, one being stem cell injections that cost me $7,000 out of my own pocket, I am into this. And I have not found anything remotely close to this. So I just wanted to say that first.
Okay. Excellent, man. Yeah. And I think somebody with your background, that's why it's so powerful. The credibility factors through the roof. And, you know, we discussed on our last live and the national awards and the Dr. Mercola that you work with and the family, and Arnold Schwarzenegger nominating you as the #1 fitness trainer in the world. I mean, there's you got a pretty big resume behind you. So for you to come out and support the gel is very powerful. So, but tell us, Darin, you know, first of all, how old are you? I mean, you know, let us know your age and, you know, tell us about your experience with the gel.
I'm 53 years young. When Ben Quigley came to me about this opportunity, he had me at hello, because as I said, I love homeopathic natural options. And when he said human growth hormone, which I'd never taken testosterone or TRT or anything, he had me at hello, because I knew how powerful human growth hormone shots were. But when I dove into it to see what is homeopathic HGH and found out that it's not shots, it's easy through the skin, that it doesn't overwhelm the body because it's small microdose with bioidentical HGH, I bought it. That's all I needed. I didn't do no research, anything. I bought it, but I was in a really bad spot. I've been in depression 3 or 4 times in the last 9 years. We all go through cycles, but it's hit me pretty hard 3 or 4 times. I was in one of those phases, not getting out of bed till noon, 1 o'clock, canceling clients, paying me big money, looking like an ass, feeling anxiety through the roof. Not excited about my future. I bought it. It came in the mail. I opened it up. I sat it on my desk for 3 days. And I slept in. I called off clients again for the 3rd day in a row. Ben got a hold of me, says, Darin, have you tried the gel yet? I'm like, no. He's like, Darin, just put it on. Put the gel on. So for the first day, 4 days after I got it, I put it on just like he said, one time in the morning for 2 minutes, rubbed it in, one time at night. Did it the second day. The second day, I woke up before my alarm, easy to wake up. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Because I had about 4 months of like needing a freaking tow truck to pull me out of bed. Yeah. And when you're a personal trainer needing to go to your facility and bring energy to clients at 7 a.m. and you can't get out of bed, it's not a good feeling, Brian. Not a good feeling at all. So I was like, wow, something's going on here. And I didn't have an overwhelming feeling of anxiety the third day. The fourth day, I woke up easier an hour before the alarm, woke up fast with no mental or emotional fog, waking up fast that way. But at 53 and 35 years of athleticism and 25 years of bodybuilding and 14 years of football, my body's beat up. It was physiologically easier to get up in the morning as well. Like the bones didn't hurt so much. I'm like, man, this is really, really amazing. So within 4 or 5 days, I was in my regular routine at the club and my clients were feeling my energy again like my normal self. And I was like, this is awesome. That all came in the first week. 3 weeks later, first month on the gel in the books, I started to feel my right shoulder feel less pain when I would go back and put my t-shirt on in the morning, my workout clothes. When I would lay down in bed at night, it would not ache as much and I could lay on it and it wouldn't ache. Most people know what that feels like with your rotator cuffs that are beat up your shoulder. And by the way, after they did my full hip replacement surgery, and it was like a life-changing experience for me because it went so good, that I said, scan my shoulder and tell me what you see. Can you fix my shoulder? And they did. One of the best surgeons in the area that did an awesome job on my hip. And they said, no, we can't. Inoperable bone spurs too close to the vein. It's too dangerous. Your bursa sac's inflamed. Your arm's beat up, but we can't do anything. So I thought that was a bummer. So 1 month into taking the gel, my arm's feeling a little bit less pain, less restriction. Week 5, week 6, my buddy comes in the gym and my arm's feeling a little bit better. And I can actually hold my hand above my head to grab something and put it on a hook. And I couldn't do that for a couple years. I'm like, man, this is really getting exciting. So my buddy came in and said, hey, let's do a workout. Because I never have anybody work out because I'm a trainer and it's hard to get someone to work out with you. So I warmed it up and I know what my arm feels like with a lacrosse ball, what I need to do to be able to do chest and back exercises and arm exercises. I know what that feels like to warm it up for 10 minutes before I can do anything. That procedure, that warm-up procedure felt better, like it was able to break through the adhesions a lot easier. So I did a shoulder press. And I pushed 10-pound, 15-pound dumbbells for the first time in 3-4 years. And bottom line is each week I put a little bit heavier weight. I can actually build muscle mass on my shoulders now. And it's a pain-free range of motion. And I swear to you, it feels like a miracle to me. That's important. If that happened to the average person, that's a big deal. But for me, being a personal trainer and trying to role model living the fountain of youth, it's super important because it's basically, besides being a student of life and a father, the 2 daughters, it's my identity. And it's a big, big deal. And my workouts are now 12 weeks on the gel, 13 weeks. My workouts are going better and better and better. And I'm getting in the best shape of my life. I've been able to do 4 to 5 exercises, Ryan, that I haven't been able to do in 3 to 4 years because of the restriction in my right shoulder. And I'm almost ready to go on the surface and say it's totally healed. And like I could like compete in a bodybuilding show again because I can build shoulder muscles because that joint is rehabbed from the gel. And I haven't done anything else. It's just the gel. Well, and I'm on cloud 9, man. I mean, what can I say?
That's huge, man. And I want to point out a couple of things that are very important for our listeners to pay attention to. You know, this is an amazing product, but we know that, you know, you're going to notice that we never say, and as Darin just said, we're not going to tell you that healed. We're not going to tell you that it cured anything. That's not the nature of this product. It's making people feel better and it's allowing them to do things that they couldn't do before, right?
Absolutely.
We're very careful about that, guys, because, you know, we have a wonderful product here, but we don't want to give false expectations.
And I just messed up. Before I went on this live, Brian, I was going to say, disclaimer, I'm probably going to say the wrong thing. And it's just because I'm excited. I don't know exactly how to phrase the right terminology so that, you know, it's what's the word, compliance. And right. You got to do the work. It's not a miracle thing. You got to move and stretch, but it's going to allow you to do things you haven't done before so you can do the work and become a stronger version of yourself. Absolutely. Which is perfect. And that's the other thing, you know, it's so funny because everybody has always been searching for the fountain of youth, right? And that's, you know, we're very careful that, like you said, that's what people are searching for. And yes, what HGH, what
it's known to do is to reverse the signs of aging. Now, does that happen to everybody? No. You know, some people, we see that their gray hair is turning dark again. Does that happen for everybody? No. So it's a very individualized thing, you know, so we're very careful to say, you know, it may be this and it may be that. But the purpose of tonight is to tell you what it actually did do for a diverse group of people. So before we bring on our next guest, I just want to tell you guys real quickly, if you're familiar, you guys clicking?
Say that again.
Somebody typing? Oh, sounds like a typing or some clicking. I don't know. It's weird.
I hear it too. Hey, Brian, did you tag me and the guy so this is on our page too?
I did. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I think that crackling noise is going to go away.
Okay. Anyway, so I had 3 surgeries on my left knee, Darin, between 2009 and 11. And there wasn't a whole lot that I could do with my knee other than pretty much walk. And in fact, if I walked too far, it would hurt. I got the ACL reconstruction, the meniscus repairs, did the physical therapy, the whole thing. And, you know, I can tell you that, you know, that was back in 2011. So I started the gel in December. About a month in, I noticed that it just started feeling better. And I could do things I couldn't do before. So now I'm back full range of motion. I'm lifting weights again. I went snowboarding again. So I got the use of my knee back. And so for me, and yes, I got all the other things, the increased energy. I'm sleeping better throughout the night. I got the vivid dreams, the increased mental clarity, you know, so I got all these wonderful benefits. But for me, you know, everybody seems to have that one thing that really helped them after they're on it a while. You're right. And again, you know, yeah, sure. Some people within a few days, they're sleeping better, the energy, but we always tell people that we have to set realistic expectations. Because if you go to the doctor for the shots, the growth hormone shots, it's generally a 6 to 12 month protocol. So this isn't some miracle cure. It's going to take some time for the benefits to actually kick in, right? So for me, it was about a month, and that was my knee. For you, your shoulder, your biggest knee. And that's what's kind of cool. Everybody has their own story when it comes to that, you know?
Absolutely.
So why don't you introduce us to somebody else let's hear what it's done for somebody else.
Absolutely. I'm real excited. James and Marissa, a couple, Gialardi, they'll tell me how to pronounce it properly.
No, Guagliardi. That's good.
All right. So I'm going to introduce this couple. I don't know them from Adam, other than I was going with it with a big skeptic of the gel and calling me a scumbag and saying this was nothing more than the placebo effect, which it was very obvious that he was way too aggressive to be a normal dude, that he was really scared, probably because he's losing market share or doing something wrong. This couple chimed in and went against him, which is really hard to do because he's one of the most aggressive people on social media, where he will block you and he will delete you if you say anything that doesn't go with King Mark Lowblinder's wisdom. And so anyway, this couple came to me on that post and they said, Mark, sorry, but we took the gel and we still feel some benefits. So I'm so excited to hear your story. Marissa, why don't you start? How long have you been on the gel? What did you feel the first week? And have you felt anything progressing from that first week?
Sure. I'm 53 years old. I've been on the gel since June. And I think that very first week, I was going through menopause. So I'm having night sweats and all that fun stuff, getting up 2 or 3 times a night, not getting good sleep. And very first week, I slept like a baby. I'm having like the best dreams, and I'd never dreamed before. So, and energy, like you would not believe, even like after, like at work at 3 o'clock, when you get that little low and you want a cup of coffee or something or a snack, I have energy all day long. I feel like I'm in a better mood. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. I wouldn't live without it.
Get up in the morning sleeping well, and how does it feel?
And you feel great. And ask my husband. He can't get me out of bed. He couldn't get me out of bed with the gel. I just like pop right up and go and work out in the morning. I never did that before.
It is amazing how much easier it is to get out of bed. It's amazing. How many weeks have you been on the gel now?
Since June 15th. So 4 months.
Cool. And have you realized
my skin texture is smoother? I had like really deep lines like right here, and like the 11s like right between my brows. They seem to be disappearing. Yeah, I feel great.
I'm so happy for you. And this is classic unsolicited testimonial right here, Brian. It's amazing. Yeah. James, what's your story?
I'm 56, and you know, my wife was telling me about the gel 4 months ago. She was on a computer saying, hey, you want to get on HGH? And I said to her, I says, what, are you kidding me? That's like $5,000 a month. She goes, no. It's a holistic gel. You know, it's transdermal. You put it on. So, but my benefits, you know, start with like the first week, you know, sleeping a lot better. And like my wife said, dreaming. Yeah. I mean, the dreams are unbelievable. But I think for myself, to make a long story short, about 20 years ago, I blew my left knee out, had to get surgery. 2 surgeons said that I needed replacement knee surgery. So being on the gel now for 4 months, and Darin, you can understand this because you're a fitness guy. I mean, you're heavy duty into fitness, and so am I. I'm actually squatting now. And the main thing is my young son, he's 20 years old, and he goes, "Dad, see if you can do pistol squats." So I was doing, you know, my right, of course, my right leg is stronger than my left leg, but doing, like you were saying before, you know, doing stretches and building, you know, you got to stretch your hips up and all that kind of stuff. You know how it is. But I'm actually doing pistol squats on my left knee, and orthopedic surgeons said that I needed a replacement knee surgery. Okay, so evidently I don't need it no more.
Wow. James and Marissa, I'm so glad that we came in contact with each other. I want to hang out with you guys on social media. And who knows, maybe as we do the gel tour around the country, we're in Philadelphia. Where do you guys live at?
We live in New Jersey. Yeah, we're close.
All right. Well, think about going to Philadelphia. I know our paths will cross, and I appreciate your time and sharing your story. It's an unsolicited gel testimonial. It just trips my trigger. I love it.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, I would not live without the gel. I mean, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm not. Me neither. My mom says the same thing, and everyone that I recommend it to says the same thing. So thank you, and keep rocking it, man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Really, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hey, Brian.
It's nice to see, I mean, I just want to say hello to Brian because we met him in the Princeton conference that they had.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. We're actually going to be doing a much bigger event in Philadelphia, December 14th and 15th. We'll make sure we get you the information. We hope to see you there.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so who do we bring out next? Darin, let's talk to Joe Pringle, Uncle Joe, as he's affectionately known. What's up? Let's see. I got to unmute him. There we go.
There we are.
What's
Joe,
up,
Joe? What do you know?
Just gelling, baby. Loving life. We want to save time, so I'm going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
I was skeptic. I'm 54 years old. Was 53 when I started on it, but I was a skeptic like everybody else most people. Of course, Darin jumped right on it because he knew a lot about it already, but with homeopathy. But I told Brian no for 6 weeks and watched some of our common friends who decided to start using the gel for that amount of time. And I came up in construction, was never a gym rat or anything like that. You know, so I was always physical on the job until whatever. But in the 90s, I had surgery on my right knee, and I had a nagging shoulder injury that bothered me for like the last 15 years. So right about the time that Brian brought this to our real estate office, my shoulder was getting pretty bad. So after watching some of these people getting real results, I decided, what the hell, let me try it. Literally 5 days after I started using it, I'm driving to our real estate office down the turnpike. Just a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, holy crap. I have zero pain in my shoulder. It was gone, full rotation. And I was sitting there telling myself, if it keeps hurting like this, I'm not even going to be able to swing a golf club this year.
Right.
So I have full rotation, no problem ever since. The pain in my knee went away and never came back. Progressing through, I've been on it about 7 months now. I started in March. And after I started getting results myself, then I started talking about it a little bit. But about 2.5. Well, the second thing was energy. I'm diagnosed narcoleptic. I've done the sleep studies, sleeping over with all the things all over your body and monitors and stuff. Diagnosed narcoleptic and sleep apnea. I was on medication, Provigil, which years ago when it first came out was expensive as hell. It was $600 some a month. Then I went later. It got up to like $1,000, $1,200 a month. So I hadn't even taken any medication for the narcolepsy for over 10 years. And it was great while I took it. All it did was like flip a switch in my head, and I just had energy. I could like read without falling asleep, stuff like that. But, you know, a few weeks into using the gel, I noticed I was out on a property, the real estate property, going up steps to get a tape measure from my truck. And I remembered I was there like the week before, and it was a pretty good hike up to where I had to park at this property. I was like, oh, I got to go up here. But as I'm going up these steps, I realized, holy crap, I got bounce in my step. I'm like, it's like nothing going up here. This is great. So I have energy all day now. I don't even need that expensive medication for narcolepsy anymore, which is worth its weight in gold alone, you know?
Joe, I got to tell you, from my experience, one of the number one factors that will determine if someone can reach their optimum potential and live as long and strong as possible is staying off of medications and surgeries as long as possible. So to be able to get the body's natural healing abilities to take care of what you need to live your best life without meds, that is like the biggest thing that can happen in anybody's life. So I'm so happy for you.
Absolutely. And that's a pretty damn strong medication. At first, they wrote a prescription for Adderall. And my son was on that when he was young. He was like, don't even bother taking it. Just come back in a week and we'll get you this other stuff, this Provigil, which apparently I found out right after I started taking it that was the new thing college kids were taking to stay awake and cram for exams and all. But yeah, other than that, moving on, about 2.5, 3 months in, I've been fighting needing reading glasses for 2.5, 3 years. And I just never got off my ass, frankly, to go down and to the drugstore, figure out which ones I need, you know. 2.5, 3 months in, I'm looking at the television. It was like, holy crap, you know, it looks HD again. It's like, this is cool. So within a couple of days, I was now able to read everything on my phone without squinting, and you know, that's gotten better. I don't need reading glasses anymore either.
High five me, baby. High five me. That is awesome.
Right on. That's just a pain. I'm used to having good vision. I had 20/16 vision my whole life, so that was like I was really fighting that one.
Wow.
Brian mentioned gray hair. Like in the middle of the summer, this was completely gray. You can't see it much now, but it's starting to get some color back in. Some gray in my head that was starting to turn, starting to switch over to the natural color. Mental clarity. And another big one, something that I noticed on the list of benefits that nobody was talking about, nobody really talked about, especially in the beginning. I mean, they'd say crow's feet and stuff like that, but skin elasticity. I have a condition with my skin. It's the same type of thing that those Shar-Pei dogs have. There's real wrinkly dogs. So I've actually, probably about 10, 12 years ago, I actually had laser done on my entire face to try to tighten my skin. And yeah, I can do, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this real quick, but come on.
I'll tell you what, your testimony is strong, Joe.
After here.
Hold it back. Yeah, hold it back. Hold it back a little bit. There you go. Nice.
The lighting's a little bit different, but I mean, I can show you. I mean, most people can't do this. Yeah. So I literally felt like my skin was melting off of my face. You know, the older I got, I was very self-conscious about it, but it's tightening up. And you think this mug is ugly now, you should have seen it then, but I feel a lot better.
You like that? Remember that guy on TV the years ago, the plastic man?
Yeah. Rubber band man. Something. But there was a guy I went to school with who had it. I didn't even know I had it when I was in high school. There was a guy that literally could take his elbow and go like down here, you know. It was weird, but turns out years later,
awesome,
I got the same
happy
thing.
for you, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's about, let me see if there's anything else I mean, I came up in construction. I'm awake. But, you know, just being on the gel, having the energy and all that stuff. Not, like I said, I haven't lived the healthiest, obviously. I've never really been a workout guy, even way back as I was on the swim team, stuff like that was a lifetime. But now, since being on the gel, it actually has me wanting to eat healthier. I've been going over the gym, at least getting in the treadmill, stuff like that, and making healthier choices. So it's a win all the way around.
Absolutely. I love your testimonial, Joe. Some people can't relate to me in the gym, you know, pushing hard iron, getting big pumps on the muscles. Your story is the average guy, and it's a very powerful story, and I appreciate it.
No problem. It's just keeping it real, brother. Now I need to get in the gym so you can bust my balls in there a little bit.
Hey, now you got the energy, and you're heading that direction.
Yeah, as long as my bones hold up. I still got weak bones. Like my knees are still popping, but they don't hurt, you know.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're progressing for sure.
Right on.
Cool, Brian. You got thanks, Joe. Brian, you want to pull someone on, or you want me to pull one of my people on?
Yeah, why don't we talk to Brent? Looks like he finally got out of his car. So let's unmute Brent. And
okay.
To say, hang on. There you go, Brent.
All right. Hey there. How's it going?
What's up, Brent?
Am I on?
Yeah, sure are. Hey, here's what we're going to do. Just tell us how long ago you started the gel, what you felt in the first week or two, and then what you progressively have felt since then.
Sure. So I am 44 years young, almost 45 here in December. And I started on the gel in June. I think it was June 3rd I started. And very skeptical, probably like what you said, Darin, what people say. And so for me, I took it for 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I didn't really think I noticed much of anything. I thought, if anything, maybe I noticed some energy, but I wasn't sure. Week 3, and this is amazing because I've always been a good sleeper. And if I was to look at all the benefits, the potential benefits from this, I probably wouldn't have circled sleep because I thought my sleep was pretty good. But my sleep has gone to a whole nother level. My sleep is great. I don't wake up in the night nearly as often. I wake up in the morning refreshed. I'm just getting a deeper sleep. And that wasn't even a benefit I really even almost desired. But now that I know what it is, I mean, I like that sleep even better. So about week 3, I started noticing a change and I started getting excited. I was like, and the other thing I started noticing is, and I'll talk about my trainer because I had measurements taken because I kind of wanted data. And the other thing I should mention, I didn't change anything. So for the first 13 weeks, 14 weeks on the gel, I didn't change anything. I didn't change my exercise. I didn't change my diet. And the reason I did that was because, one, I wanted to see what the effects of the gel were alone. I don't want to start working out real hard. I want to change my diet because that can have effects on the body as well. Secondly, we live in a lot of people, I think, just have high expectations, and a lot of people won't make changes. And so I wanted to know what they could experience just with that, because and here's what they'll experience, or what I think, or here's what my experience is. So I then started noticing better sleep, which gave me better energy, which made me more focused, which means I didn't have afternoon crashes, which means I was more productive at work. I was able to get more work done. And probably the highlights were I felt like my metabolism was higher, which meant I just felt when I was younger and was working out, I always had this feeling like I was hungry and my metabolism was higher. I had that same exact feeling on the gel. Probably one of my best benefits, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sitting in this chair right now, that I had 2 bulging discs, C6 and C7 in my neck, and had constant pain down my shoulder, down my arm. I still have nerve damage from it. The numbness is probably still there, but my pain, which was always probably a 5 or 6, now today, as I sit here, I would say it's a 1. It's probably really a 0, but I'm being conservative and I'll say it's a 1 because I can push into it and still feel it. But I mean, that's just where it's at.
That's awesome.
Thing, in the first few weeks, first 13 weeks, I went back to my trainer and had my measurements taken. My waistline had gone down 1.5 inches without changing diet, without changing exercise. And to me, that's just amazing. I mean, and I felt like it was doing that, but to have the measurements gave me the confidence and the data to back that up. So for me, those were huge benefits.
And Brent, what I'd like to add is that's incredible, means you didn't exercise or you didn't change your diet. You kept everything the same to see the true test of the gel only.
Right. Because that's what a lot of people, I felt that a lot of people's expectations, I think this is the greatest thing because, if you can brush your teeth, you can put the gel on. It's like an easy way to get your health back a little bit. And then what we'll do is, like we've heard the other folks, and then now I am working out because I have this extra energy, I have this extra focus, and I want to get back to working out. So now I am working out, and now I am trying to eat healthier because it just gives you that extra boost. Another thing I haven't mentioned is my mood is better. And that's a tough one to describe exactly, but I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I'm just in a better mood. And that's a great feeling.
Yes, it is.
The neck is probably huge. That's if I had circled a main thing when I looked at those benefits, I thought if this can help my neck, I will be happy. But the fact that I'm getting all these other benefits, and shoot, I'm telling you, I slept good. Now I sleep great.
That's awesome. Brent, what I'd like to say, I learned a lot from your testimonial, is that obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I have a lot of personal trainers that look to me for mentorship. And a lot of personal trainers aren't very good at asking for money. Some are, but a lot aren't. And they'll send people down to GNC to get a whey protein or multivitamin. And what I told personal trainers about this is that when your clients take this, it's less about gaining muscle and losing fat and getting a ripped CrossFit workout in. It's more about them sleeping better, being in a better mood, being more productive, and just naturally wanting to gravitate towards being able to have their brain wrap around the idea they have more time to work out now. So it's easier to train your clients when they sleep better, when their mood's better, when they got a libido, when their joints feel better. So it's the perfect storm for a trainer wanting their clients to get healthier in a natural way.
Right. Well, with their recovery too, right there.
That extra boost.
The recovery is definitely increased. I can tell it. I know how my body recovers at my age, not nearly like it used to, but now it seems like I'm 12 to 15 years younger now on my recovery. My workouts are going next level, and it feels amazing. It's a dream come true for me. And it's a dream come true for Brent to heal his neck, not heal, to have his neck feel a whole lot better naturally without a surgery or a shot that's going to overwhelm his system and not be good.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Darin, you just mentioned a key point. What Brent said, the common thread of what we've heard here with your guest who had to leave, with his knee and needing to get the knee replacement, he doesn't need it. And he has use of the knee again. He didn't say it was pain-free. He didn't say it was cured. He didn't say it was healed. Brent here just said it's a level 1, where it used to be a 5 or a 6. Yeah. My knee, it's not perfect. I mean, it's still, if I lift a little too heavy, or sometimes it's a little sore and I get that little twinge of pain, but it was constant before. It was a level 7 or 8 and I couldn't do activities that I can do now,
Brian, here's a very good point. When I come out to Philly and I show you a few therapies and a few exercises, because of how much better your body's feeling in the knee area, you can go to being pain-free. You got to do a little bit of work, but you can do the work now. I can show you how to make that knee pain-free now, because your body has healed enough to give you the ability to go towards the right therapies and the right movements and stretches.
That's a great point, because a lot of the things after the physical therapy, after the ACL reconstruction, I just couldn't do because of the pain. I could do them, and I would be limping around for a few days, and I just figured it's not worth it. I'll just leave my legs alone. I don't need to lift them,
Yep. Hey, Brian, can I check to see if Kim McClellan is on here? Did you see a Kim McClellan?
I don't see any Kim. No.
Okay.
No. Maybe she
was going to try to get on. She had to pick up her daughter tonight. I hit her up for the last minute, so she may pop on here in a few minutes.
All right, I'll keep an eye out. And in the meantime, let's move over to Tanya. Hang on a second. Darin, I'm going to mute you because you got a little clicking feedback going on over there, but we'll bring you back here in 1 second. Mute you.
The noise is somebody touching their phone. Listen, this is the longest that I have not had to be quiet, but that nobody can freaking hear me.
So now you're up. So tell us your story, Tanya. What's good?
Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm wicked shy. And for the first time, I think I'm one of the youngest besides you, Brian. I keep saying 50, but I'm 49. I'm getting used to it. Brain fog is something that cleared up for me. And I'm going to prove that, because I wish that I could have had notes like Joe, but I have to wear readers over my glasses. As for him having the balls in the gym, that's so that I can train him after he gets done with him, of course. I have 5 children, 2 sets of twins. Brian, you have triplets, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. My twins weighed 16.3 altogether, which caused a major back injuries. I had my hip replaced. I went on the gel in April of this year. I had so many benefits, but the one benefit that I just want to talk about the most right now, and I'm going out to all the women and guys, be nice to women in menopause, because it's not funny. The mood swings, they were out of control. I'm not a bitch. I'm peanut galleries over here. I'm not a bitchy woman by nature. You can't be when you have that many kids. And I could feel myself. It wasn't a hot flash. My body would get hot. I would shake. My moods were up and down. My sleep was terrible. I literally was teaching women. I'm in the health and fitness industry, and I work mostly with women who've had children and that are older. And I was teaching them tricks. I went out and bought 3 cotton sheets, folded them in half, laid them on top of each other so that I could sweat through them and remove them and not have to get up and change the bed every night. The hot flashes were excruciating. I went to my doctor, and no one wants to do hormone replacement anymore. It's dangerous. So she put me on Lexapro to try and fix the mood swings. She put me on Xanax to try and help me sleep. Half the sweat was probably from detoxing from that. I didn't know what I was going to do. I got approached for the gel, and I wasn't. You can't put HGH in we did bodybuilding, we promoted, I know HGH and you have to inject it. So I wasn't a believer, and I figured, screw it, I'll go on it. And I think I have a testimony where I'm actually crying about it, because I would literally have to stop where I was. I had to leave my daughter's college tour in the middle of a college tour because I was so hot. I broke out in a sweat. It was so embarrassing. I was on the gel for 9 days and realized that I hadn't had a hot flash. That back I talked about from being pregnant, it was, I would be folded. I would get up from the couch and I would be like this. The kids would help me unfold myself. And I didn't realize it. I hadn't taken Percocets or ibuprofen in the entire time I was on the gel. So I can't tell you exactly when it happened. I do want to point something out to everybody out there. When you keep hearing us all talk about the gel, everybody keeps saying HGH gel. And, everyone's talking about HGH. Hook up with whoever you're watching the video through, because there's a lot to this product that makes it so phenomenal. But to be rid of the hot flashes, ladies, listen to me. When I tell you, I started menopause at 38 years old. That's young. The gift for having 5 kids or something, I don't know.
Menus out of waiters' hands.
Yeah, I did.
And she literally would.
She's shy too.
Sorry, yeah, so shy. She would literally take the menu out of someone's hand, right out of the waiter's hand, and just start fanning herself. I thought it was funny. She didn't.
I didn't know what to do. It was rip my shirt off in the middle of the restaurant, or I saw this big menu. Listen, that's what I mean about it's funny, but that's what I mean about how serious it is. Can you imagine being so uncomfortable and so hot that you actually, you lose control of your emotions and grab a menu out of a waiter's hand because you don't want to rip your shirt off in the middle of a restaurant? No joke. So if there are ladies out there that are skeptical, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to still have your hot flashes. I can't guarantee you won't, but I'm telling you should definitely go on it because of all of the benefits I have. That's the one that I would talk about the most. And because we're short for time, I don't want to.
Well, and that's really important, I think, because you're speaking to a whole different group of people. I mean, obviously, I can't talk about hot flashes. Obviously, none of the men can relate to that, and even pretending to try to be able to would be silly. But this is an authentic testimony from you. This is something that it's the biggest benefit. I'm sure you have a laundry list of other things. I mean, I could have talked about my C6, C7 herniation and all the other things, but again, to keep it relatively short tonight, we have this panel here. Everybody's coming from a different background, a different situation, but everybody's getting results, right? And everybody's getting improvements. I think the key word is improvements. And I believe that setting the expectation, and you did a great job of that as well, excuse me, setting the expectation, Tanya, in the sense that we're not running around saying this gel is going to cure this. It's going to completely eliminate that, because that's just not true. Now, in some cases, people could say, well, Brian, it really doesn't hurt anymore. Great. But at the end of the day, to see an improvement, to have less hot flashes, or maybe in your case, like they go away. The gentleman like Brent with the knee, or excuse me, with the neck, and the other guy with the knee, and my knee, and Joe's shoulder. Nobody's saying it's completely healed, repaired, but it's feeling so much better. And we're literally doing things we couldn't do before. You're able to probably, I assume, go to a restaurant without worrying about ripping your clothes off, right?
Sorry.
And I was going to ask you on a date. Never mind.
So,
the elasticity of your skin, stop pulling it out like that.
Why does it hurt when I do this? Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But for all the women out there, I just want to, you guys didn't keep it short, but I'm going to. I just want you when you go through menopause, I mean, they tell you, I'm going to get personal. You guys said libido. They tell you that as soon as you haven't had your period for a solid year, you are done with menopause. Okay. 5 years. I got it the last month and could not get out of. There's a difference between perimenopause, menopause, and I call it full-blown menopause, full-blown shit show, whatever you want to call it. It's awful. I was stuck in that for 5 years. When they tell you that their knees don't hurt after surgeries, or you hear about the next, everyone's like, yeah, right, it's not a miracle thing or whatever. But to have something to be able to do what I couldn't get any help. I'm all into herbs. I own a nutrition store. I train like you do. And there was no surgery. A woman it's like when you're pregnant the last week. You guys, if you have kids, you know what your wife was like. I was stuck in that hell for 5 years. So even if I didn't get every benefit everyone's talking about, but even if the only benefit that I got was my hot flashes gone, I'm for it. I will say this. I ended up not being able to use the gel after 4 weeks because I got it in April. What was even worse was I had to go in reverse. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm just going to get one bottle, and I always try to tell them, don't do that. Not because, I want you to keep getting the bottle because I'm making $1 million or something like that. It's because I thought I was in hell for those 5 years. When I had to go in reverse, I literally went backwards from all of my benefits. And that's when I realized just how much I was receiving from the gel.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a great point. And a lot of people, Tanya, that's one of the biggest questions we get from people. They say, well, Brian, what if I stop using it? Well, you're going to go back to being human. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if something is helping you correct symptoms and reduce certain things in your body, whether it's pain, whatever, and now you go back. Well, Darin, what would you say about there are some permanent changes that take place because of the healing, because it goes in and does those micro repairs, right?
I will respectfully disagree with you in that when as 3 or 4 of the people talking tonight said they started going to the gym and having more bandwidth and energy and focus to be able to work out and eat better, then you're doing the work. You're doing the work that you weren't doing before the gel. So you're going to gain muscle, lose fat, get healthier because now you're moving in an action. The gel initiated that. Do that for 6, 7, 8 months. You've gained 6, 7 pounds of muscle, lost 10, 12 pounds of fat. You've established better eating habits. You're thinking differently. You're sleeping differently. When you stop taking the gel, you're not going to go back to square one. You have earned that. You have gained it and lost it. And you're 10 steps ahead of where you were. And you will be able to maintain that without the gel. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's what you need to hear somebody not say, and this is what I think is great about this call right now is I was shaking my head and thinking, I didn't know if you were going to be a tool or not, but you're not. So cool. Because if you would have said, oh, yeah, it was the gel, but you're right. People don't realize that, if you're waking up earlier, you're getting more done, right? So even when you're going to the gym, you're able to, like he's able to train it and train the muscles around it. And so that was nice to hear you say that. I like it when some people seem to think that, which irritates me, but that we're, I don't know, all trying to put this gel on them I don't have any idea. People know me, so that's why they do the gel because they know I'm a woman of my word, but it's not pushing it on them. People need to understand the whole realm of it. And like what you said, it benefits you, which allows you to do other things. To be able to get up and down off the couch, that's a big deal for some people. It was a big deal for me.
Right.
Well, and let me say this too. I think that's, as we wrap this up, there's something really important. A lot of times, it may be obvious that somebody like Darin with his background would be interested in the gel and promoting it and let's just say accessing the business side of the gel. All we've talked about tonight is the benefits and what we've all personally achieved. But the thing to keep in mind, guys, is that, people like that come from a real estate investing background, like myself, and education, and Joe and Tanya and Brent. We don't know what Brent does, but what we're realizing is that we've literally put ourselves in front of a trend that's going viral. So people can access that just to get the benefits of, you know, using the gel and helping their lives improve physically, or they can recognize that there's both the physical aspect of what it'll do for you personally, and then there's the business aspect, which is why we're all so excited to be a part of this, because when you can combine health and wealth, it's a beautiful thing. And timing in life is everything. So when you can put yourself in front of a trend like this, we have a story the world needs to hear. We have a product that so many people can benefit from. They just don't know it exists. That's why we're doing a Zoom like this, right? I'm going to unmute. You got this weird clicking that's going on, so I always keep muting you. Sorry about that.
Okay. Brian, I just want to say that health and wealth is awesome, and that wealth, the word wealth might intimidate some people. What health and making $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month, more people can wrap their mind around that. And one step at a time. Few entrepreneurs like you and myself see how big the trend is and can go really fast. But just wrap your mind around using the product and feeling better first, and then naturally through osmosis, people asking about it, sharing what you're doing with other people, and then a light bulb can go off, and then people could make $1,000, $2,000 a month within 3 to 4 months of having fun and just recommending a product that's working well for them.
And you know what? Christmas is coming soon, man. Everybody could use a little extra money for Christmas, right? Especially kids like me.
You know, with wealth, I don't know if you guys saw my video. I realized after I was sad about the $485 I made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what it's about. So, all right, guys. Well, look, I know we went a little bit longer than we wanted to, but everybody spoke from the heart. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully some of the people that watch this, as we made this live, that's why we put it out on Facebook. Some of the people that maybe catch the replay, I'm going to throw it up as I always do on my YouTube channel. This is the real deal, guys. So, everybody here spoke from the heart. This is paid actors, right? This is who we are, what we're doing with the show. Darin, any final thoughts from you? I know you have a pretty big network with personal trainers and all. Is there anything you'd like to share?
Just that if in your gut feeling, you've been sniffing around and you're hearing information and your gut feeling is you think you might want to pull the trigger and give it a try, you got nothing to lose, money back guarantee. Always trust your gut instinct. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right and feel pressure, but just do what you feel in your gut. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Trust your gut feeling on this.
Yeah, and guys, that's the other thing. You're going to see below this live. There's no links to buy. There's no affiliate links. We don't play that game. If you're Darin's, get back to Darin or mine or Tanya or Brent or Joe. We're all users of the product, but we're all also involved in the marketing side. So if you're interested in trying the gel, give us a message. Back to us and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Absolutely. And a lot of people shared this too. If somebody shared it, you see it on their wall, get back to them. That's the way we work it, man.
It's all good.
Plenty for everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Darin.
Good job, Brian.
Good seeing you guys. We'll talk soon.
GetOnTheGel.com.
Rub the gel.
GetOnTheGel.com.
Show me a 3-second video.